All right, so today we're diving into something pretty fascinating, something called the 80-20 principle.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard of this.
Have you?
Yeah, it's the one where like 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts, right?
Exactly. And we're going deep on this, pulling directly from Richard Koch's book, The 80-20 Principle.
Okay.
It's amazing how this idea can be applied to basically, well, every part of your life, right? I
Yeah,
mean, we're talking business, time management, relationships, even happiness.
totally. And you know, what's really cool is that it actually comes from like a really simple observation about economics.
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
So this Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto, noticed way back when that like 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the people.
Hmm. So a small group held most of the wealth.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is this pattern like repeats itself everywhere. It's kind of mind-blowing.
So like 80% of the company's profits
Yeah.
might come from just 20% of its customers.
Exactly. Or you might find that 80% of your enjoyment comes from just 20% of the activities you do. Oh, wow. I never thought of it like that, but it makes so much sense.
Right. Like, think about it. How many things do you do in a day that actually give you, like, true satisfaction?
Probably, probably not that many.
Yeah. So this principle is all about identifying and focusing on that crucial 20%, that stuff that really moves the needle.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
So it's not about like laziness. It's about being strategic, right?
Totally. It's like, imagine a garden where you just focus on the plants that are giving you the most fruit.
Right. You wouldn't waste your time on the ones that aren't producing.
Precisely. And that's where Koch's idea of, what's it called?
Selective ignorance.
Yes, selective ignorance.
That always makes me laugh.
It's a great concept, though.
Yeah.
It's like giving yourself permission to ignore or at least delegate the tasks that aren't really that important.
Yeah. Letting go of those things that just clutter up your to-do list.
Right. So you can free up more time and energy for the things that truly matter. It's like the other day, I was stressing about all this like admin work.
Uh-huh.
And I just thought, you know what? It's not worth my time.
Yeah.
So I just like let it go. And it was so freeing.
So freeing. It's amazing how much mental space that can create.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how about in the business world? How does this 80-20 thing play out there?
Well, Koch talks about how, often 80% of a company's profits come from just 20% of their customers.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So it's all about figuring out who those top customers are, those like VIPs, and really focusing on them.
Like maybe creating loyalty programs or giving them personalized service
Exactly. Pamper them a little bit.
so that they're happy and keep coming back for more.
Exactly. And that ultimately leads to, well, more profits for the business.
Smart. But, this isn't just a business strategy. How can we apply this to our, like, personal lives?
Oh, absolutely. Think about, like, your relationships.
Okay, yeah.
It's probably a smaller group of people who bring you the most happiness,
Got it.
right?
Yeah, those really close friends and family members.
Exactly. And same goes for your hobbies.
Ooh, yeah, like, I love to write,
hmm
but I don't always make time for it.
Yeah, you got to prioritize those things that really bring you joy.
For sure. I used to try to do it all,
Yeah, spread yourself thin.
Yeah. And I was just constantly stressed and overwhelmed.
Totally.
But then I started applying the 80-20 principle, and it's made such a difference.
Really? How so?
Well, I started prioritizing spending time with those, closest to me, and I made more time for writing.
Nice.
And guess what? My stress levels went down, and I just felt so much happier and more focused.
That's awesome. Small shifts can make a big impact.
For sure. So how can we, actually figure out what our top 20% is?
Well, Koch suggests keeping what he calls a Pareto journal.
A Pareto journal, what's that?
It's basically a way to track your activities and see which ones are giving you the most bang for your buck.
Interesting. So it helps you figure out those high-performing activities.
Exactly. The ones that are truly bringing you value.
So to wrap up this whole 80-20 principle,
Yeah.
it's not about being lazy, it's about being strategic.
Totally.
It's about understanding that you don't have to do it all to be successful and happy.
Yeah. It's about focusing on the things that really matter.
Exactly. So as you go about your day, think about this. What are the things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment?
Yeah, those things that contribute to your happiness, your success, your well-being.
Once you figure those out, that's your top 20%.
And that's where you should be focusing your time and energy.
And who knows? You might just find that you can achieve more by doing less.
Absolutely.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.